Thank you for tuning in to this WLRS Crypto Radio YouTube video. The content on this video is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe for the most up-to-date content in the future. Enjoy. All right, so let's pivot again into the DeFi news section. We have a bunch to cover this week. Obviously, we talked a little bit earlier about this is the big yield nodes news. Yield nodes makes a hard pivot in a different direction. So Tuesday, yield nodes investors, that's a freaking mouthful, I swear. Yield nodes. I'm going to say YN going forward. YN investors were greeted with a surprise email outlining a hard pivot away from the current structure. Due to current crypto, this is some snippet of the email. Due to the current crypto winter and the general problematic economic situation, war in Ukraine, high inflation, high energy prices, weakness of the euro, etc., we are forced to hedge our virtual assets with real and sustainable assets and to provide and manage them in a decentralized way. Therefore, with immediate effect, we will restructure YN into YN Pro to ensure hedging by real assets and to ensure that our shared values are preserved in the long term. And a couple key takeaways from that email are we're going to convert new deposits and existing deposits into NFTs, which give a subscriber the right to shares of those assets. They will continue to earn, I think they said 5% a quarter, which previously they were earning 5% a month, but they're switching to 5% a quarter. Value stored in NFTs will not be tradable until at least quarter 2 2023. And in a second stage, based on Yield Nodes Pro, Q4 2023, so basically a year from now, we will finally provide the portal that will allow partners to convert the NFTs into equity investments and receive the returns from those assets. So if you're in Yield Nodes, you're going to be in it for the long haul here.
Yeah, James Pelton, of course, I talked to him right before the Ask Me Anything started.
Fuck.
And he had no idea that this was going to happen, by the way. And, I said I had to imagine that this was not the PR department that released this. And the PR department woke up to it and was like, just fucking sweating, man. Like, oh, no. It was a debacle. And I think that obviously the investor has the right to be frustrated at this because their capital went from a sunk cost or went from a non-sunk cost to a completely sunk cost, right?
Right. It was a 6-month lock.
Yeah. And so
from when you start. That
to me is like changing the rules and not allowing investors, because what happened is I'm assuming they were about to go insolvent. In my opinion, that's probably what was about to happen. Or so maybe they said it.
They had set up a bunch of like validator nodes and things like that, or master nodes, in one of the tokens that was like pretty much carrying the weight of all the other assets or investments they had was the SAP, and SAP took an absolute dive, so couldn't support it anymore. Basically,
I know all about insolvent contracts. Trust me, I've lived it. If the yield nodes team wants to talk to me about how to make it right for the investors, reach out. I'll tell you how to go broke in your treasury very soon, and also make people like you, which means nothing in the reality of how things work, but it makes you feel good when you go to sleep at night. And so,
does it?
Well, it does, honestly. It does. I do know
That's
that,
good.
Giving out over 500K, 600K.
You'll sleep a lot better without death threats in your Discord inbox. I'll fucking tell you that.
Yeah, buddy. I still haven't had a death threat. I still haven't popped my death threat cherry. And that's pretty cool. So I must be doing the right things to some extent. But for real, though, yield nodes, that was a huge mistake in my opinion. And it's probably not. They probably know it's a huge mistake, but they didn't have an option. And so that's probably what people don't care about. But I highly doubt they had an option to do any other direction and still be solvent enough to pay back the amount of people in these yield nodes. That's what my guess is.
Yeah, we tweeted
they wouldn't do it otherwise.
Yeah, they sent out another email saying they're going to make a video and please stop with death threats.
Oh shit, they're getting like actual like.
Yeah, they're But they have a phone number published with like customer service workers and shit. So their phones were blowing up with people saying, all kinds of stuff. But they did also release an interview with a YouTuber today, which I tweeted out at WLRS Radio on Twitter. Link to it, watch it. Follow Walrus Radio on Twitter. I haven't finished watching it yet, so I don't know all the details.
Is it with
but basically,
CEO Steve? Is it this Crypto Yields UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, so James Pelton just made an update video on his end because, of course, he was getting death threats as well, which is just an insane. Like, let me just speak about
how
that.
was he supposed to?
People
Yeah,
quick to it.
That is fucking
quick to
insane.
straight to the guillotine.
Yeah, Box told me when I was doing my AMA, he said, dude, it really affected me like on an emotional level. And I said, the good news is anyone publicly trying to state that they're going to like assassinate you or harm you, likely
They're committing a crime.
likely they're not going to because you got to take off work. There's premeditation involved. You know what I mean? Like
These people don't work.
these people.
These are not people. These are not workers.
These are not working class Americans.
these are people that have nothing else going on.
But they have
and
to.
then
They
see
have
a
to plan
stock
their.
go down
They have to
and-
plan their travel, and at the end of the day, they're probably like way too exhausted or lazy because that's why they're bitching in a when they lost money, they're blaming someone else. So likely they don't have the mental fortitude to even go through with it. But it is still exhausting. But if you do that, go get help because that is fucking insane. But obviously, it's not James Pelton's
Beyond
fault
that.
for talking about yield nodes, which provided profits for people for how long now? Like 6 months. And the minute it goes upside down, everybody's like,
they've been up for 3 years.
"Oh no,
My
You know,
God.
most people probably
They've
are.
been running. Yeah, I didn't.
Spoiled fucking
Most
rats.
people.
My initial investment unlocks like November 1st.
Well, now it doesn't.
I know. I got another.
Damn it, Austin.
So like, that's me. That's my life. Like this. Like 6 months I can handle.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, like, it seems like a good idea, like what they want to do. Like, it's in theory like a good thing, but the execution thereof is the bad thing.
Well, it's not like anybody can dump. It's not like anybody can dump their tokens and make it go lower because it's all locked. So you're good on that end. Like it can only perform or not perform. And I think they will find a way to make it perform. I don't know, like legality wise. I think that this is a sketchy move for them because they're going into real world assets, and anytime crypto gets involved with that area, to me, it's like a red flag. Like, listen, buddy, the
It's
SEC,
fuzzy.
yeah, the SEC is looking at
They're in Malta.
your ass with a microscope type shit.
They'll send a Polaroid of the middle finger to the SEC.
Yeah, that's also probably true if they're in Malta.
Damn, that's
yeah.
crazy.
And yield nodes, man. Free content for us, but it does suck along the way.
We are so sorry for those. Well, excuse me. I am so sorry for those who have lost, including my good friend Dave here, who's driving the bus.
It's not a loss. It's just an extended investment period.
Yeah.
Went from short term to long term investor, baby.
You just got to change your attitude, right? Like
Total.
Just like Walrus had to change its attitude, you got to change your attitude. Everything's having to go to a
it's
lot.
fine.
Like whenever your short-term investments don't work out, just pretend they're long-term
long-term.
investments, and then
You planned it the whole time.
then you look like a savvy trader that's got it going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. It's like when Thor nodes introduced like the fee structure and all that stuff, and the token went to total shit. People were like, "I'm diamond handing this." It's like you have to diamond hand it.
You know,
can't sell
you
your
know,
They took your
fucking
choice.
node.
Loki's invested in Walrus, and I thought that was so cool because I used to like watch his AMAs with like 800, 900 people. And,
It's crazy.
And he like came in and
Job
was like,
does is crazy.
and he sent me a message in my main Discord, and he was like, "Listen, man, the way you handle your community is so awesome, and I really like your approach." And I was like, "Thanks, dude. My Odin nodes haven't ROI'd yet. What's going on?" No, I'm kidding. I didn't say that. No, he is a really good guy though,
To the brass tacks.
and he's talked to me a lot in private in DMs and stuff, and so it's really cool that. Like I'm meeting all these people that I used to just like watch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not starstruck or anything, but it is cool to meet and know that I'm doing the right things in the space. I even know this guy named LB. He's pretty cool.
I heard you
Might have
knew,
heard of him.
knew him.
You might have heard of him.
From Great Finance, right?
Yeah,
He's got some fruit protocol.
He's got some. It's.
The
I think it's.
lime.
I think it's
Yeah.
lime finance. It's.
Lime.
It's some kind of. It's some kind of citrus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that soured really quickly. Line Finance did.
Jesus.